In addition to what has been said, one of the major reasons why the incidence is still very high is the overcrowded living situation that we have. If in this room we're about 7 here, for example, and none of us has malaria parasite in our system, all the mosquitoes in the world can bite and circulate around us. Nobody will get malaria. But as soon as one of us has malaria parasite in his or her system, when mosquito bites that person and goes to bite another person, that's when transmission occurs. Mm-hmm. So in a crowded environment where one or two or many people are already infected, you expect the incidence of malaria to be going up because it is spreading around. So overcrowding is a factor. The vector control that has been talked about is a factor. Our environment generally is not optimal. Our environmental sanitation is very poor. You have refuse everywhere. You have water stagnated everywhere. You have exposed small vessels with water or some kind of moist condition that mosquitoes can thrive. And those encourage mosquitoes to breed and to multiply. So when you have poor environmental sanitation, overcrowding, and again, when you come to the under 5 children that has just been mentioned, we have many of them that are malnourished. When you have a malnourished child that is infected by a malaria parasite, the severity of that person's malaria is higher than the normal, than a child that is well nourished. So all these factors, and then the living condition. You notice that mosquitoes bite at night, not during the day, especially the female Anopheles mosquito that is mentioned. And it is when it is dark that mosquito likes to move around and bite. So do we have light that will drive them away? The answer is not enough. Are we living in a very clean environment, good sanitation, refuges are disposed of, no stagnant water, and if there is any water that is stagnant, is it covered with oil so that mosquito larvae cannot survive in it? No, the answer is no to that. Do we have children that are well nourished, that even if they have infection of malaria, it will be very minimal and it will be controlled? The fear of death will not be there. Is that the situation? The answer is no.
How does you raise an issue about demolition, the constant pulling down of structures and all that, and I'm trying to link it. Dr. Abuja, can you find a nexus?
Not too much, because these demolitions are sporadical. They are not always taking place, and it is not everywhere. If you go to Nyanya, for example, you have a lot of malaria cases in Nyanya. Nobody is demolishing in Nyanya now, for example. Go to Mararaba. Why am I mentioning all these places? Because they are overcrowded. These are very highly populated areas, and the refuse disposal in those areas are very bad. If you go there, you see a lot of water in gutters. You see a lot of stagnant little ponds around houses. You see a lot of grasses right into the back of people's yards. All these are areas where mosquitoes can breed. So the demolition issue is, well, you can't rule it out completely, but it's not a major issue because demolition is not always taking place. And when you demolish and people move, it's only for a few days, after which they find themselves somewhere. So the exposure to mosquito, for that reason, for that particular reason, is only temporary. But the issue of vector control is very important.